Hey everyone, and welcome to another cast from the ITaX Cup, number 75. $200 prize pool on the line. We're here in the round of 4, and in the top right corner of 2,000 atmospheres, it's none other than Shopify Rebellion's Byun, opening up with a proxy barracks. Trap, playing for the Afrika Freaks, down in the bottom left. The initial scouting probe has, in fact, missed the scout on the barracks. But we'll notice something awry as it arrives to the main of Byun. So this proxy barracks from Byun has a couple advantages. First of all, his Reaper is going to hit trap just a couple of seconds earlier than it otherwise would. Secondly, it's very unlikely he's going to follow up with a proxy factory or a second proxy barracks at this point in the game. So this is going to throw Trap off of his game sense and potentially provoke an overreaction. Let's see what Trap's been up to. He is going Zealot first. Second gas is complete. Cybercore right on time. Byun dropping an NG bay to try and get a block off on the Nat, but it's going to be shut down right quick by that first Zealot. Byun has indeed produced a single Reaper before flying the barracks home. Now, this should be a very even series. Only a 4% differential between the two, according to Wikipedia stats. Trap proxying a Stargate. Trap so good with his Stargate play, so good with his DT play. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of it throughout the series. Cyclone coming out for Byun. So this is going to be really good, potentially, if Trap decides to go Oracle. We could see Shield Battery Void Ray, but I think it's unlikely given the positioning here. You can put down Shield Batteries like right here and attack across the cliff. But Byun taking the very safe command center in the main is more likely to be vulnerable to an Oracle here. And we are indeed going to see an Oracle from Trap. Two additional racks down for Byun. Twilight Council starting for Trap. Reaper causing some mayhem, but is going to die as the Shade completes. The first Oracle has arrived for Trap. Is he going to go in alone, or is he going to wait for a friend? Looks like he's going to wait for a friend. Stare at the fish in the background. Trap moving forward, 3 Adepts and a Zealot to fight with the double Oracle. This can be very powerful, especially if you go after the Marines. I mean, you can send the Oracles in the back to do harass damage, but with this much firepower, Trap could potentially crush the army of Byun and damage any further pushes. Oh my god. Heavy fire from the Protoss is going to wreck the low ground units of Byun. This bunker is not going to see the light of day. There's the cancel. 5 SCVs killed, the rest forced off the line, and that's a very nice early blow from Trap. Byun has very few units on the field. Stim and combat shields under research. So few Marines to attack Trap as Trap drops the third Nexus. We'll see how well Byun recovers from this. Trap's kind of abandoned the Stargate, nothing being produced. Stalkers warping in at home and Blink on the way. Stalkers are going to move out on the map. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to attack, but definitely have the potential to do so. No Robo on the field yet, but you can spot high ground with the Oracle. Potentially blink, get some damage done. You have a vulnerable reactor on this Rax. Marauder slow. Combat shield still not quite finished. There's blink, but the Oracle is actually not in... Oh, no. It's totally floating over the Stalkers. Disappeared on the mini-map for a sec. Trap distracts with the 2 Adepts. Is he going to leap high ground? No, he decides not to. Interesting. I wonder why. +1 and charge for Trap. Marauder slow is complete now for Byun. +1 infantry weapons soon to follow, and this is Byun's time to make a move. He can potentially overrun these Stalkers. They do have blink off cooldown, so they will be able to escape. Byun has no 3rd command center producing. He really wants to get damage done with his attack. Trap ahead 10 workers. Mules aren't quite going to cover for that. On the Terran side of things, Byun up 51, army supply to 35, and Trap has precious little splash damage. This is the time for Byun to get damage done. If this push doesn't work, it gets riskier and riskier and riskier for the blue Terran as the seconds tick by. Protoss upgrades are going to be hitting. I'm sure Trap is going to be moving into either Robotech or Templar Archives very soon here. Could potentially see DTs for backstabbing. Byun drops a 3rd. Deft defense by the Cyclone against the encroaching Adepts. Yeah, I mean, Trap has a couple more upgrades than he did during the last engagement, and Byun has not really reinforced with any units. Now he is going to shift 2 medevacs around to the 3rd. Only 3 probes killed so far. Zealots will clean up. Byun able to blow up a pylon as well as a gateway on the high ground, but Trap is pretty much okay. He's not too much worse for the wear. Byun still building his 3rd command center on location. I mean, this eco split is even larger than it seems because Byun long distance mining with a lot of SCVs. That's like 6 SCVs long distance mining. Trap will be going Dark Shrine as he finishes Robo Bay +2. And is probably going to go into Colossi. Could see some Disruptor play as well, but likely Colossi into Disruptor. Byun takes down the rocks and is immediately spotted by an Obs. Trap has all the time in the world to prepare for this. Byun keeps getting revelated. There's just too much force field on the high grounds. Byun's going to have to lift into the main if he wants a good angle of attack. Burrows the Widow Mines, but there's those force fields, and this is exactly what I was worried about for Byun. Now he is trickling up to high ground through the 1 gap in the force fields, but it's not going to be enough. He's unable to bait Trap into the Widow Mines. Trap notices their location, does get the revelation off, and will kill off 2 of them. Byun repositions and will hold the retreat with his Widow Mines anchoring. In the meantime, Trap has sent a prison across the map, drops a few Zealots, and will kill off 2 SCVs, but doesn't get a terrible amount of value from the initial attack of the Prism. A couple more SCVs die on the low ground. It looks like he might get a refinery as well. No. Oh my god. The first DT hits and is going to up that worker kill count to 12. Very, very well played. It snuck in the back line. Barely even noticed it. Charge lots hitting the main mineral line. 23 SCVs killed off now. Trap takes the 4th base. Byun is running down the midfield, takes out a Zealot. Will claim the Zelnaga. And sees Trap Stalkers, able to get a few decent Marauder volleys off. +3 in development for our Protoss. Disruptor spinning onto the field, and this is just becoming so dangerous for Byun. He can still make something happen, but he's got to play very well. The Protoss army might look smaller than Byun's, but it's a very high quality. We have 3 DTs ready for harassment, 2 Disruptors, an Oracle flying support, multiple Immortals. Trap still has a proxy up at the 12 o'clock. Offensive DT play doesn't go as planned, but here comes the Disruptor and should force a pickup into the medevacs. The Dark Shrine is sniped. That's nice for Byun, but he's got to do a lot more work for Trap to start feeling the heat. A 5th Nexus in production for Trap. Byun. Is thinking about taking aim at Trap's 4th. First 2 Disruptor shots whiffed. The 3rd one definitely connects. Oh no, move commanded Marines right through the lasers of death coming off of the Colossi. Byun gonna drop in the main, try and hit some of Trap's production. Trap chases Byun into a corner, blink forward, 2 medevacs go down. 2 will escape, but they are hemmed in. They can't get out. Byun really counting on this attack in the main, and oh no, he flies 2 more medevacs over the Stalkers. An uncharacteristic blunder from Byun. First the conga line of Marines, and then 2 additional medevacs flying over those Stalkers. Yeah, no, Byun just lost too much. Trap was going to be able to counter across the map, and that's going to be game number 1, convincingly in favor of Trap. Okay, so Trap had a resounding victory in game number 1. Byun is a player who, like, is pretty consistent, but he grinds tourneys all day. Okay, he'll play like 20 hours of StarCraft, take a 4-hour nap, and be back at it, hitting online cups. So I wonder if that's what happened at the end of game number 1, because that did not seem like normal Byun play to me. That was one of the biggest blunders I've ever seen from Byun, and I cast a lot of Byun. He's good friends with a lot of people I know, and yeah, it's just how do you fly 4 medevacs into Stalkers? How do you fly 2 medevacs into Stalkers? Know they're there, and then fly 2 medevacs again, and then run a column of Marines into Colossi fire? Those are questions Byun's going to have to answer for in game number 2. He's got a fresh slate. It's still very early in this best of 5. Again, these 2 are very evenly matched in terms of statistics, and I think it still could go either way, but you gotta stop and pause, right? When you see Trap win as convincingly as he did in map number 1. Trap forcing the SCV to build CC off center. It's going to be very slightly annoying for Byun, as he has to lift it and move it to the left. Upon completion, Second barracks starting up for Byun. Second CC halfway done. Stargate in the main for trap. Not proxied for optimal Oracle play this time around. Light adept pressure. Might be able to kill off a Marine. Nah, not gonna happen. Adept's just gonna keep threatening with its shade. Oracle finishing for trap. Here it is. Oracle number 2 on the way. Combat shields and stim starting for Byun. Ooh, trap losing one of the adepts. I mean, you got a couple marine traits for it, so it's not the worst thing in the world for trap. He's probably not too happy about it. We're seeing a third Oracle on the way. Trap going very Oracle heavy this game. First two are going to go in on their lonesome. Trap executes the Marines with these Oracles, severely weakening the Terran push. This is no bueno for Byun. Ah, jeez. Revelation on the remaining bio units. Forge halfway done for Trap. Twilight halfway done for Trap. Stasis ward is laid. Is Byun gonna run into? No! Byun runs the whole column of Marines into the stasis ward. Oh, that almost could not have gone any better for Trap. Now he does lose an Oracle. That's kind of a fumble on the Protoss's part, but Byun, what's going on tonight, my dude? I think he must have just attack moved his units and he was looking elsewhere. I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but Byun, can you recover? Can you recover from the blunder? Marines chase down final adept. Fresh adepts, as well as stalkers. Sentries ready to defend the high ground. Oracle zapping more reinforcements. Oh my god. Byun has to hit soon. No, I think Trap has too much. I think Trap just defends now. Okay, Byun's just regrouping. Another wave of reinforcements is marching southwards. Here goes another revelation down for Trap. And another one. Heavy adept play against the third CC of Byun. Byun moves to the rocks, gets force fielded out. Warp Prism pops for trap. Robo-Bay about to finish. +1 completing. Charge halfway done. Dark Shrine starting for trap. Robo on the way as well. And I really like Trap's tech position here. Byun is up in army supply, but it's not just the army supply you have, it's the quality of that army supply. And with Colossi finally entering the field for Trap, there's a timer on Byun. If he hits any later than 3 Colossi, it's going to be a bad time. So he's not going to wait for 3 Colossi. He's going to try to hit while Trap's on 1 Colossi. Go, 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 go. Byun really hustling, trying to make sure the right units are in the right positions. Widowmine at the tip of the spear. Trap hitting in the main with a prism. He is dealing some decent SCV damage. Force field on the ramp is going to delay the push into the natural from Byun. Byun cleaning up the prism. But it can always return. And in greater numbers, charge lot run by coming in from the left for Trap as his production takes a beating from Byun. Shield battery taken down, +2 weapons are canceled. 1 medevac is lost as well as a Marine. A very light cost for Byun to be able to snipe some Protoss production. Canceling an entire upgrade. Very well played from Byun. But, I mean, the SCV losses have been kind of savage. 10 SCVs dying so far to 2 probes. You hate to see it. Trap taking a 4th at the 3 o'clock position. Kind of. This is like, I don't know. I would call this the 3 o'clock position on this map, right? Doesn't matter. It's just to give you the idea where the base is. Byun. Stimming toward the nat. Is probably going to kill off at least 1 gateway. Yep, there it is. EMP on the Protoss ground forces. He is going to make Trap hesitate to move forward. He will clean up all the Widow Mines. Some of the ground army abandoned so that Byun can get this drop off. Trap is just barely pursuing that ground army. With what Trap has on high ground, Byun decides not to go for the drop. Trap splitting off his robo units primarily to go on the offensive against Byun. Byun with a decent ghost count, some Vikings in the air, flying cover for the bio. Big blink forward, Trap killing off a lot of bio. Seven SCVs, 10 SCVs, 12 SCVs, Baker's dozen, 16. DTs coming in from multiple angles. GG, Trap looking so convincing, taking our first 2 maps in the series. Byun, feeling the pressure now, but like, the reason Trap is winning isn't any brilliant strategy that no one's ever seen before. Byun has blundered. He's blundered a few times, flying medevacs over stalkers. Walking columns of Marines into Colossi fire. Mispositioning his ghosts. Waiting too long to attack. It's just simple mistakes from Byun, and you gotta be like, is he fatigued or jet lagged or whatever? What's going on here, Byun? You gotta turn it around, my guy. But Byun is definitely someone who can turn it around. When you apply the heat, when you apply the pressure. Byun can get that extra adrenaline boost and take down even the best of opponents. Heavy committal to kill off the scouting SCV from Trav. That was a lot of pros pulled off the line. He really wanted the scouting SCV dead. What is he planning? It's just Gate Cyber in the Nat. Now, Byun is opening Marine here, so future scouting is going to be pretty delayed. Byun going for the safe CC because that scouting was shut down. Traps heavy committal of early game probes to kill off Byun's scout. Ended up paying off. Full scout of Byun's main base from Trap. I have a bad feeling in my stomach. Is Byun gonna be able to survive? Stalker being chrono boosted out by Trap. First Stalker has arrived at Byun's base. It's just standing there, menacingly. This is me when I get anxious. It just pace back and forth. Walk, 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 walk. It's very healthy, actually. You ever get stressed out? Try walking. Try walking while focusing on your breathing. Very helpful. Stalker intercepts one of Byun's Hellions. Man, this is just not a great start for a Blue Terran. Oh no, not like this. Can Byun avoid the 3-0? Trap, taking a third Nexus, Robotics Facility, finishing for a red Protoss player. Blink, about to finish on the Twilight. Marines pushing away the Stalkers. Hellion from earlier comes in from the back. Does technically get the shot off, but I don't know how much it helped. One Stalker still harassing Byun. So many Marines killed off. 3 kills just on that one Stalker. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, Byun. I know you can do it. There's no faction bias here. I'm a Zerg myself, but I don't want to see Byun get 3-0'd. That's not the way. Trap. Making another sortie into the base of Byun, or is he? Checks high ground with his obs. Sees the positioning of Byun's units. blows the obs out of the sky. Stim has just finished for a blue Terran, and now Byun has a chance to flip the script. These Stalkers in a very dangerous position. There is a Prism coming out from Trap, so it looks like he wants to continue attacking. Charge halfway done for the red Protoss. Obs re-establishing vision for Trap. Byun not taking the chance to pounce on the Stalkers that are just sitting in the middle of nowhere outside of his base. Is going to load up some medevacs, actually. Okay, this is an interesting choice from Byun. Trap is backing away with his Stalkers. And Obs did see the drop outside the base of Byun. Byun might be able to catch the Prism. Oh my god, Byun catches the Prism. All the units inside die. And Byun now has a clear path to the Protoss third. He just dealt a severe blow to the army of Trap. Only one shield battery here. Is Byun going to have the game sense to launch the attack? He's going to be choked up by some rocks. This is going to give Trap time for another warp in. The Observer sees all the Stalkers using their first blink to get some early damage to the Marines. About 5 will go down. Widow Mine is baited successfully by Trap. Templar Archives in development for our Protoss friend. Some more barracks for Byun. Trap means business. The bulk of the Protoss forces are moving mid-map as 3 medevacs are poised to strike at the Protoss third. Trap changing his mind. He's just now seeing the medevac with this pylon. I wonder what made him pull home. There were no other indicators that Byun was dropping on the right side. The pullback happened well before the pylon saw it, so Trap with some very, very, very solid game sense over the last minute. First couple high temps trickling onto the field for Trap. Storm close to finishing research, as are +1 weapons for the Protoss. EMP upgrade being worked on by the Terran. Some more Vikings popping out of the starports. Byun's ready to advance. Hits the T button. Some zealots are going to die, but so is the bulk of Byun's army on the low ground. Oh, 2 medevacs die as well. Trap's going for the kill. 11 probes killed in the background, but this is looking very strong from our Protoss. Great EMP. Only a couple zealots to shield. All of a sudden, the Stalkers are melting. These guys going after the SCVs, but was that the right choice? The workers are going to be pulled as meat shields for the main Terran force. Trap has to retreat. He's behind an economy from Byun, at least for a little while. He does have a 4th base up, but needs to get these additional gases going. Think about taking a 5th. Byun somehow turning his game around. Can he continue momentum? You saw it. You saw it almost blunder. You saw him almost lose the medevacs, but he didn't. He keeps going. Oh god. Are they gonna find it? Only 2 Widow Mines in here. It's not the biggest of losses. If it dies, is it gonna make it? It makes it to the dead space. Very close call on this medevac. Trap setting up a Zealot run by. Byun moves to intercept. Snipe. Pew. Four probes dying. With a combined assault of the Widow Mine and Liberator. Big attack here from Byun. Storm is going to get the better of it, but Trap is being kind of spread thin. This is buying Byun time to achieve max out. Start up +2, +2. Additional barracks hitting the field. More ghosts are being trained within the barracks. More marauders, more medevacs, more just Bioterran things as Byun gets a small amount of probe damage against Trap. Keeps trying to make Trap feel like he's tied down. Trap is not actually tied down here, right? Like, he doesn't... Oh my god, the feedbacks on the medevac. I love the feedback animation. It's so violent. It's just a spear of energy through the unit. And when it gets the kill, it looks very effective. So many things in the game of StarCraft that just have great game feel. They're very pleasurable to watch. Look at the Zealots carving into these forward ghosts. Okay, Trap won the first half of this engagement, but remember, he doesn't have shields, and his Zealot meat shield is gone. These guys were actually extended pretty far. Byun making the calculus that he can take a better engagement later. I still think he could have stayed and fought there and got severe damage done, but it would have been a wash, right? All the units on both sides likely would have died, and Byun can just save the medevac cloud, heal up, get extra HP, and recoalesce his reinforcements. He is going to be maxed very soon against a 150 supply Trap. This is a dangerous time for the Protoss. Terran's going to be feeling very confident, very emboldened. Trap now has extended thermal lance, making his Colossi all the more deadly. Oh god, he still lost the ghost. That feels bad. Byun getting ready to push into Trap's 5th Nexus. We got a scouting factory off to the left. making sure there's no run-bys. Coming to encircle the Terran army. But encircled the Terran army almost is Disruptors, forcing Byun into an unfavorable position. He is just surrounded by Protoss, bravely able to take out the Disruptors before they can connect the shots. All of a sudden, it's a total rout for Trap. Byun handling the micro in this engagement masterfully. 15 probes gone, and the pylon gone, and the warp-in dead, and L, and ratio. Trap is backed up against the wall. Byun really has this fight. Oh my god, the Nexus is dead. It's a disaster for a Protoss player. 80 army supply to 20 for a second there. Fresh warp-in from Trap is going to bolster the defenders, but will it be enough? I don't think so. GG. Byun gets his first point on the board, but Trap still has him to match point. Finally hitting his stride in map number 3. It was touch and go for the first 2/3 of that game, but Byun able to micro his way to victory. Trap had a very formidable, very powerful army, but literally in the final engagement, Byun's like able to turn the tide, killing off a Nexus, stopping an entire warp-in, and just dumpstering the core units of the Protoss army. It took him a lot of chip damage to get there, but it's very scary. Trap's looking extremely strong in this series, and Byun is still down to match point. Is he going to be able to turn things around? Second Nexus for Protoss. Cybercore finishing up. Byun drops the second CC. Does Trap go Stargate once again? Cybercore is about to finish, and we await the Protoss tech. I need to learn to read Korean. I think that might be a worthwhile endeavor. My roommate says it's super easy. He studied it in college, and I guess it's like one of the... I guess Korean is one of the newest written languages. Like, of course, their spoken language is very old, but I don't know the full story behind it. I think some, like, professor of language came up with a writing system for them not terribly long ago, and it's really easy to learn, really easy to read. Allegedly. You know what? I'm going to do that this afternoon. I'm going to pull out my roommate's Korean book, and we're going to learn how to read Korean. It will be an oracle, again from Trap. I mean, his oracles have been pretty decent. He's killed off a lot of Marines with his oracles. Is he going to be able to continue that here in map number 4? Triple Adept going to the natural. SCV dead. Marines dead. Third base down for Trap. cancel on the shade. Trap's third Nexus. About halfway done. Another Oracle popping. Ten seconds on stim. 5 on combat shields. The Adepts get their shades in the main, and they will complete. Stim will cause the Adepts to only be enabled, only be empowered to deal a minimal amount of damage to our Terran. Slight delay on the factory. 1 SCV kill. The Marines running in exactly the opposite direction they needed to defend against these Oracles. Very sad. They are going to deal the damage the Adepts could not. 4 SCVs dead already. Already tech delayed. 5 SCVs. And all the Oracles survive. Very well played from Trap. Marauder slow. About to complete for our Terran. +1, halfway done. Byun really threatening Trap's third. Trap does not have that much. It looks like these army supplies are closer than they actually are, because remember, there's 3 Oracles sitting in the top left corner. So those 3 Oracles are not at home to defend. They haven't dropped stasis wards. They can definitely deal damage to the Terran economy. It looks like they're going to go after the production, actually. One of the Oracles caught under missile turret fire will lose some HP, but only 1 medevac will pop from the starport thanks to their efforts. I think Byun's being way more cautious than he needs to. Trap has been able to even the army supply gap quite a bit over the last few seconds, and that's because Byun is unnecessarily hesitating to launch an attack. And now he can't. Now Trap's positioned at the third. He can force seal the ramp if he needs to. Ooh. Okay, you know, maybe he can. Byun stimming into the natural. 2 shield batteries dying. The pylon going down. +1 picked off. Wow. Byun had like a split second to make this decision. Totally demolishing Trap. Catching him out of position. 9 probes dead so far and counting. Counts doubled over the last couple seconds. 19 probes dead. Widow Mines burrowing. One of them dies before it can get the burrow off. Dark Shrine being built for Trap. Trap very fond of the Dark Shrines in this series. He's made some very solid DT plays. These Stalkers have to fight at least a little bit. Byun's running them down, getting some nice chip damage against Trap. Trap finally makes it to the safety of the third. Shield batteries. Being very cozy, very comfy for a red Protoss. Byun's enhanced shockwaves are about to finish. Shadow Stride starting for Trap. +1 about to finish for Trap. These DTs have... Oh my god, they have guts. They walked right through the Terran army. Byun did not notice. He doesn't care either. He hesitated. He clicked back, and then he clicked forward again. Paying attention to the minimap. Oh my god, the Mass Burrow on the Widow Mines! First shot dodged successfully. Byun only repositioning some of the mines. He is able to slide past Trap for the second time this... Oh my god, it's a rout! No, the Dark Stride dies. There's like 1 second on Shadow Stride. This is so sad. Robotics facility can die whenever Byun chooses to right-click it. He chose to right-click it. GG is called. Byun evens the score 2-2. We're going to the ace map. Trap looked like he was in a different league than Byun during the first 2 games. But Byun hitting his stride in game number 3 and starting to push back against Trap. Byun has the momentum going into game 5. This bracket had a $200 prize pool, and these guys are now fighting to the death for it here in the round of 4. It all comes down to this singular map. Cybercore, seconds away from completion for Trap. Is he going to go into Stargate? He's done so like every game this series. There's Warp Tech. Stargate Oracle Trap. Will you do it? Stalker pops from the gateway. More barracks going down for our Terran player. 3 racks opening. This is looking like a 2-base play from Byun. Only 1 gas for the Terran. Bunker in the natural. Second CC finishing up. And it's going to be a Twilight play this time around from Trap. Trap being very active with his first couple of units. Byun Hitting with double Reaper in the main of Trap is going to be intercepted by a Stalker. One Reaper down. Second Reaper heavily embattled. 3 probes killed off. Stim starting, combat shield starting for Byun. Second gas finally being taken for the blue Terran, the 345 mark. Robotics facility for Trap as Blink warps in, is downloaded from the mothership to the Twilight Council for Trap. Shade's blocked a couple times. Is it going to be blocked a third time? It was. Spoiler alert, it was blocked a third time. And it will continue to be blocked until Byun wants to let it in. It knows it's a trap. Okay. Fresh work bin of Stalkers on the Prism. Traps ready to make a play. Bunker taken out, but at the cost of a Stalker. I don't know how worth it is. Byun is going to sally out from the natural. And this is the end of Trap's attack. I was sitting there, I'm thinking, I'm like, is Trap going to be able to turn this around? Is he going to be able to get damage done? And the answer is no. It was just a simple no. Traps drop down, third Nexus. Colossi over halfway done at the Robo. Some harassing blink play in the main from our Protoss. Byun holding strong. Ooh. That was... I thought the Widowmine was going to hit. That was some quick evac into the Prism for a Trap. That was very impressive from our Protoss player. Byun drops in the main. changed his mind. Doesn't want to drop in the main anymore. Will leave behind the Marauder. I think there was time to pick up that Marauder, but it can be hard to make those calls in the heat of the moment. Byun with another column, advancing on Trap. I think Trap has enough to hold this. If the sentries had less energy, I'd be like, yeah, Byun can smash this, but the sentries do have energy. They're going to be able to force field off Byun's units if they try to push high ground, and that's going to be the saving grace here from Trap. Byun is trying to get a good angle on his opponent. He scans down on the low ground to make sure an observer hasn't seen him. Oh no, he gets to run by into Trap's natural again. Will severely weaken the wall. 2 more robos in production for Trap. He's like, yeah, that was my one and only robo. I need 2 now. I don't feel good about losing that. I want a security robo. Stalkers corner the drop in the main, but that means they're not here on the low ground to fight this force. I think that's going to be okay. Triple Colossi is pretty scary. Medevac makes it safely back into the corner. Prism shunts off to the left. Trap moves his core units to defend the 4th base. Byun, I think, waiting for EMP upgrade, as well as several more ghosts before making his next move. Should have another wave of Vikings, as well as armor to bolster his next attack. There's that Trap Dark Shrine going down once more. Prism speed and +2 for the Protoss. Only Prism speed should be here in time for the fight. This is not really a choke point Byun can push through, especially with disruptors on Trap's side. Byun trying to pressure the Protoss. Perhaps snipe a disruptor. Prism speed is here for Trap. +2 weapons, still very far out for the Protoss. 3 more racks finishing for Byun. The drop is scouted, but Trap very out of position to deal with this. He is going to just walk his Colossi up the cliff. Big EMP is going to be very helpful to Byun. Trap's units coming in piecemeal. The Zealot Warpin is going to be enough to scare Byun away. Speak of that, Trap running a Zealot into the 4th base of Byun. Zealots cut down. Another big engagement potentially shaping up. Oh man, if Trap can sneak a disruptor ball. No, he just hits the throttle. He goes in hard. Both disruptor shots miss. 3rd one connects with some already very low health units. If Byun goes now, Trap is pretty much defenseless. He's hitting on the right flank. Met with shield battery overcharge there, but that means there's no shield battery overcharge for these core robo units. Byun very overstimmed though, and is going to have to take a second to heal up from the medevacs. The other attack force going into the main. Zealots trading out very well against the Marauders. Byun overrunning the robo units on the right. The Vikings are going to land. That's going to enable this bio to push into the probe line. 4 Vikings blown up by the disruptors, but the 4th Nexus has fallen. Trap cleaning up the drop that was in his main a little while ago. 26 SCVs, or excuse me, 32 probes have gone down. The SCV is starting to fall to this DT run by, but Byun definitely getting away with far less damage than his opponent. Oh my god, 2 Medivacs very much under threat. Every unit will die. The Vikings being cut to shreds on the ground. Two disruptor shots whiff, and that's gonna be GG for Trap. Oh, that was sad. I was really hoping one of those shots would hit, but no. Trap's like, shoot the disruptor, GG. Byun takes the series 3-2, and we'll move on to the next round. I've been your caster, Renegade. It's an honor and pleasure as always. Thank you to AlphaX for having me, and I will see you in the next one.